Okay, let's get started now with the software Sweet Home 3D. So let's start drawing the floor plan here. Then correspondingly the 3D image will appear here on the window. So in order to create a wall, there is a create wall tool, this one. So click on it, select it, and now start drawing. So in order to start drawing, what you need to do is you just click wherever you want. So here the measurements are mentioned, it's in feet right now, 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, like that, starting from here. So you can start wherever you want and just click on the mouse first, start your drawing, then either move the mouse or drag the mouse, both the ways it works. And once you reach the end point of the wall, you can just click again and then start drawing the next wall. So this way it's very easy, you can keep drawing the walls whatever you want, and you can draw completely the full building the way you want, and you can stop wherever you want. Okay, so when I stop here, automatically a magnetic effect comes up. Double click when it is finished. Okay, so there is another way, escape also you can do. Now if you want to draw another wall, you can start drawing from here, this way you can see, and keep joining, double click to finish the walls. So this is the way to draw, and you can look at the below, the corresponding 3-dimensional image is generated. So in order to move this, it's very easy, you can just drag using your mouse to rotate the image, your floor plan. Now to place some walls, the doors onto it, so here on the left hand side you can see a lot of tools which are the furnitures that are available from these sections, different categories of furnitures. You can pick whatever you want. I'll just first place some doors on it, so I'll just drag a door from here and place it over here. Okay, so when you place the door, you can see the corresponding door has appeared in the below image as well. Now if you want the door to open the other way around, so just once you drag, automatically the door actually gets placed over the directions. Okay, when you drag up, door goes inside, when you drag out, door comes outside. And if you want to increase the width of the door, you just click on this tool and you can drag it, that way the door increases its size, and this way you can adjust the height of the door. So you have to be very precise to bring the tool over here. Yeah, so now that way you can adjust the height of the door, just drag and this way, and this way. This is another tool on the top corner. What you see, this is the elevation tool, so you can adjust the elevation, the placement of the door. So what happens is, from bottom the space is increasing without changing the height of the door. Okay, so this is especially useful for windows and things like that, not for doors. So for doors you generally don't need to adjust this elevation point. And here is another tool. Using this you can actually rotate the placement of the furniture. So this is not very much applicable in case of a door. So for example, I'll pick an armchair and place it over here. Okay, so now if you look at, the armchair appears here. I can, using this rotate tool, I can rotate the placement, so you can easily see the chair has rotated and changed its direction. So this is the way to start your drawing. Okay, now this is the way, even though this is the way to draw things, if you look at here, when you drag, you can actually see the sky. So here the color of the sky and the color of the ground and the color of the building, everything is too close, so you don't really make out the exact difference in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes so that it appears more natural. So for that, what you need to do is right click on this window, not on this, right click on this window and select modify 3D view. So here there are two options. You can adjust the ground and the sky. So either you can change the color of those things, or you can even add textures to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add texture to it. So here let me add a texture. So I'll select a floor grass texture. Let me click OK. OK again. So now if you look at, the floor is actually looking green. So you can make out the building exactly clearly. So similarly I'll make a change in the sky as well. So I'll select a cloudy sky. Okay, so now you see, so you can see a realistic, more natural view of your building. Now what I'm going to do is, if you look at here, I'm going to rotate the house. So here one thing I wanted to show here is within this, I'll just turn the view to the normal aerial view. So if you look at the aerial view here, there is one problem. The grass appears within your building as well. So that means there is no actual floor has been created as per the software. So what you need to do is, there is another tool to create the floor. So there is another tool which is called the create rooms tool. So this tool, using this tool, you can actually start creating your rooms. So you can keep clicking on this, keep drawing, same as the way you have done with the walls. This is one way of doing things. Okay, so this way you can make it work. Now there is another alternate way. So this is tedious for you. If it is a closed area, I'm just going to undo this just to show the shortcut. I have cleared it. The easiest option is, if the area is very close, what you can do is just double click. Automatically the floor appears in the entire enclosed area. Similarly, I will double click here. So another floor also appears. Okay, now if you look at, this is much more neat and clean. Now let's go inside and see the actual rooms. Okay, now let's see the impact of the floors. In order to see that, let's go inside the building and see. Now to see inside of the buildings instead of aerial views, again you have to select the virtual visitor, which is actually bringing up your camera. So drag the camera wherever you want, okay, and rotate. Okay, now we can see our floor. Now what I'm going to do is, in order to have a more realistic impact to the floor, double click on the room area. So a dialog box appears, modify room section appears. So here you can add a baseboard. Just click on it. Okay, finish it. So you see a more natural flooring effect. Okay, similarly you can go to the next room. I can just add it over here as well. Double click again and add the baseboard. So you will see a baseboard has been added across the rooms. Okay, I have given you a very high level overview of how to draw an image, how to draw a building, how to draw a plan. But in most of your cases, what will happen is, either you will have already a plan in your mind, or you will already have consulted an architect who has given you a blueprint of your floor plan. So in that case, what you can do is, if you want to draw the same thing and to visualize the same thing using the Sweet Home 3D, what you need to do is, you can import that floor plan as a background image and start drawing over here. So let's see how it's done now. Okay, So for that, let me clear off all these images what has been drawn over here. I'm not changing this style, let it be like that. Okay, so let's begin again. Okay, now let's see how do I import an already drawn floor plan into this software, and using that how do we draw the actual plan. So here I'll show you. So I have already a floor plan as an image which is already drawn and it's available, which gives the measurements and all those things in centimeters. Okay, and here is the northwest directions as well. So I'm going to bring this image into the software Sweet Home 3D and I'll draw using that. So one difference with that image is that the current scale is in feet, but the image is in centimeters. So what I have to do is, as a first step, I have to change the preferences. Go to the file menu, preferences, change unit into centimeters. Okay, now one more thing I would like to do here is, normally in a building the outer walls will be 25 centimeters thickness. So I'll increase this also to 25, so that when I draw it resembles the actual floor plan. Okay, now let's see how do I import the floor plan. So in order to import the floor plan, what you need to do is right click over here, import background images. Now you browse the image and select the image, click OK, proceed from here. Now you can see the image, just click continue. Now here one thing you need to do, so you have to define the scale of the image. Okay, so by moving the endpoints drawn in the image below, so what you can do is you can zoom a bit, and this is the scale. So you have to adjust either one of the measures, you have to make it correct. So I'll make it little more zoom so that the measures are much more accurate. Only on the edges you can move this tool, otherwise you cannot adjust it. So go to the top, the other section, again drag, bring it to the bottom. Now here I know that as per my plan this length is 1837 centimeters. So let's mark this. Now the software also knows your scale, the scale of your images. Continue and finish it. Now before that you can just define an origin also. So my total area is here, this is my plot. So I'll just somewhere on the corner I'll select the plot corner so that it appears on the top corner. So now I have brought the image completely as a background image. Now it appears within my Sweet Home 3D. Okay. Now let's start drawing this tool. Okay, so what I am going to do is, before that one more thing you have to note here is, my north faces this direction, but as per software it is this direction. So let's make it in sync so that everything is correct. So this way, why we are doing is, when you do the lighting up of the buildings you will really understand the difference. So but make sure that your north on the background image and this also matches here. Now let's start drawing the floor plan. So first what you need to do is, first finish up all the boundaries first. Okay, don't start drawing inside. Why we are doing? Because we can easily draw using the create room tool, we can actually draw the entire area very easily. Okay, otherwise once you draw, and if there are open areas like this, okay, drawing the floor will be slightly difficult. So the first thing what I'm going to do is start drawing the walls. Okay, so let me zoom a bit in this. So now the way I'll show how do I draw. Select the tool. Okay, now this is the total width of the wall. So somewhere halfway, middle, exactly middle of it. Okay. You can adjust later also. Just start drawing the walls. Okay. Stop at the center again, then continue. Stop again. I'm continuing the same pattern. Now continue. Even if there is windows or doors, don't worry. Just keep drawing. Complete boundaries. So now I got drawn the I am drawing the boundaries. So I will double click here to finish things. Now I have the entire border has been placed within this. Okay, so I'll get the actual 3D aerial view so that I can also see the building. So this is how my floor plan appears. Okay, now let's draw walls within it. So let's draw the thicker walls so that it is 25 centimeters. Okay, and stop at wherever you have. So here, yeah, one thing you have to note down is you can continuously draw the entire wall from here to here, because there are only doors. If you should not stop here, it should continue like this and continue. Otherwise what will happen is when you place a door on top, there will be an empty space. So you don't want to have that. So we will continue from here to here. We'll continue from here to here. Escape to finish things up. Now I think we have drawn, yeah, one more wall is remaining. Okay, now I have drawn all the main walls. Now let me draw all the small walls. So that small wall thickness is 12 centimeters. So again I have to go and adjust the preferences to 12 centimeters. So now let's start drawing all the small walls. Now here also. One more small portion. Okay, so I have drawn an approximate image for my building, right? So this is how it looks like. Fine. I think I am missing one more wall here. Yes, so this wall is actually should have completed here. Now let's see how do I do that. So now there are two options. I can draw a wall from here, or I can extend this. But when I extend this wall, there is a magnetic effect, okay, because of which this wall is also extending. So one option is just delete and redraw. So there is another option, I'll show you later. Say one more wall, I'll draw. Fine. Now I have drawn the entire image. Okay, now let's fill up the rooms. So the advantage what I am getting here is, since I have drawn all the closed areas, outer areas first, it became very easy. Otherwise it become very difficult. If you open up the spaces, or if you draw doors, then it becomes very difficult to close this way. Okay, now let's start placing the doors. Since it is a front door, I am keeping it wide. Now let's start placing some windows. I can copy paste, or I can keep dragging the windows. Another option is just Control C, Control V. that way also I can draw. So when I drag the window to the wall, automatically it gets adjusted to the window size, wall size, wall direction basically. So yeah, so now we have drawn the walls on that side. Now let me see whether I have, okay, there is one more main window, a double small window. I'll draw here one window, I'll duplicate, and one more window I'll draw. So there are two doors, so glass doors, windows. So now like this. Now let me place the doors within the house. So let's place the doors. So one door goes like this. Now if I want to, here the door open like this, but if you want the door to be open towards the window, sorry, to the wall, there is another option. You can have a mirror option. When I click on the mirror option, the direction changes. I'll place another one here. You can have again a mirror option turn off, so that it comes this way. Another door I would need here, another door is required in this place if needed. Yeah, here one door is required. I'll get a mirror option here as well. I need one more door to go out. So this is one way of planning things. So I haven't drawn exactly to the floor plan, but this is just to give you a high level understanding of how things are drawn and created. Okay, now there is one major component that we have to draw. It's the staircase. In order to draw the staircase, go to the staircase section. There are different type of staircases. You can pick whatever type of staircase you want. This is one way of doing it. There are plenty of ways to do staircases. Now in order to see how does it being placed, let's go inside the room and watch it. Okay, so move the camera inside and turn around, so that when you draw it, you see exactly what's happening. Now right now there is one problem. It's actually there is a quarter landing or a half landing staircase. It's not going to touch the top floor. I have to adjust the height accordingly. So for example 2 meters. Now it looks like exactly but the number of stairs may be different in your case. Now what we would need is really a bit of adjustment here and there. We need a landing space here, so I have to draw the landing space. Now this is one tricky thing, to draw a landing space. Okay, so in order to draw the landing space, is actually you can use the wall itself, but the problem with the wall is when you by default, when you draw a wall, it will be something like a usual wall that which is vertical. So we are looking for something horizontal, right? So what I have done here is I have drawn another wall outside somewhere. So it need not have to be on this plan itself. You can draw it in separately using another new project, and then you can export that. So I'll draw it here itself. Later I will delete once I export it. So once you draw a wall, okay, so now what you need to do is you have to export this. So you can draw anything, any shape, whatever you want. Now let's export this object. So I have selected this object. Now 3D view, export object. So I'm going to export it as my landing space. And make sure that you export only the selection, otherwise the entire whatever is drawn over here will be exported. We want only this to be exported. So the advantage what we are actually trying to do is export it as a furniture, then import it here in this category, and once you drag and drop from there, you can play around with it. You can keep changing your directions, you can change the angle, everything is possible. That's why. So now I'll just import it. Sorry, import the furniture. Again, choose the model. So go to the home, I'll select my landing space, continue again. So here you need to be very careful. Okay, so I'm just selecting miscellaneous, or I can even type a new category altogether, like my category, something like that, so that a new category itself appears. I will just put it in miscellaneous for the time being. Keep proportions, all those things are fine. Don't select doors or staircases. Okay, so just keep it as movable so that you can create it as a movable object. Now continue and finish. Now it appears over in your category. So I'll bring it over here. So now if you look at, here is the difference. So the one what we exported is just a wall. Now the other one what you imported is, you can drag, you can change the elevation. It's like a standard furniture category. So I'll just change the angle here so that it appears 90 degrees horizontal. Now if you look at, it's actually horizontal. Only thing is that it doesn't have an elevation now. So we don't need the original one. I'll just delete it. Now I can adjust my elevations, height, everything. So I'll just make it to 200 centimeters so that it appears to the same level as that of my landing space. Bring it over here. I'll change the size. Slightly. Now let's go inside and see what is happening. It's actually way above the flooring, so there is something wrong with this height, I believe. So there is no, total height is 200 is, so one option is I can just adjust the elevation like this. Now here if you look at, see, these kind of problems you can easily identify when you have a 3D drawn like this. Otherwise, the right now if you look at the window and the landing space is actually touching each other. So these kind of defects can be easily captured if you have if you have drawn the images like using the software. So now what I need is another staircase from the landing space to the upper floor. So I'll create a copy of it. I just rotate this. Okay, so I'll keep it on this landing space. Now I'll change the elevation of it. double click another way, the easiest option if you cannot drag. So again the 200 is something very 150. Yeah, now it looks decent. It goes to the upper floor. So this is how my stair will look like. Okay, now I'll prefer a 3 window glass, so that one way, or I can even have one window removed so that only 2 windows appear there, or I can draw another window over here, and all those things I can do. Fine. So now it appears over here. Now we will create openings over here. That's later. We will show you how to do that for the upper floor. So this is how now we have created an almost approximate plan. So you can visualize from here. So now the colors doesn't, the doors and all those things, color is not proper. So one thing I'll do is I'll change all the walls inner colors. Select all, right click, modify walls. There will be a color. I'll just select a pink color. Yeah, sorry, I should have modified this one. Here left and right I'll modify. If you look at it, now I can see my house fashion. I'll just select, take my camera tool, I'll have a move around. You can move around the house and watch how is it looking. Okay, so I'll start working on my kitchen.